So you click this video today because you're probably wondering how to get the best of your life insurance business. So whether you're new in the industry or you're already an agent or you're thinking of getting into the industry, I'm sure you have heard that the financial services industry creates the most millionaires. So regardless of where you are in your journey, today I'll be giving you 10 actionable tips on how to make the best out of your life insurance business. Let's dive right into it. Number one, get licensed. So the first thing about this industry is that you need a license to practice. This is probably not going to be one of your get rich quick scheme, but the most important thing is that once you get a license, not even the sky is going to be your limit unless you allow it. Now when we talk about getting licensed, there are so many things to consider. Number one, what platform are you using to study? There are some platforms that are very simple. The platform we use in my organization is super simple. It won't even take you like a couple days. Some people get their license in 1 week, some people 2 weeks, some people 3 days or 4 days. If you're in California, it's 60% to pass. In other states, it's 70%. Obviously, when you connect with someone, whoever is guiding you through the process, when we talk about getting your license, one thing I noticed in this industry is that once you get licensed in one state, you can endorse in other states. You don't need to do the exam again. For example, when I worked as a registered nurse, I have my RN license in California. If I want to work in New York, there's a process we go through, but I could work in New York, I could endorse. It's also like that in this industry. So once you have your license in your home state, the rest of the state, you're going to get a non-resident license without needing to take the test again. The cost of the license depending on the state you are, but it's a very simple process. And I know that for you to get your license the first time, it might look complicated or daunting if you don't have guidance, but most times once you find someone to guide you through the process, find a broker that's hiring, and if you don't have any around you, you can reach out. We're in all 50 states except Montana, by the way. So we're in 49 states and Puerto Rico. So if you need help, we're able to guide you through the process. But once you have someone guiding you through that process, it is so easy to navigate. Trust me. The course is 100% online. You don't even need to go to a physical place to study for it. Again, if you have more questions regarding licensing, feel free to reach out or drop some comments below here. And if you're already a licensed agent, congratulations. You do not have to worry about the step I just covered right now. Now let's go to step 2. The second step about growing big in this industry is creating your top list of the people you're going to reach out to. Now this could be a top 25 people, could be top 50, could be top 100, top 200. I really don't care the number of people you create in your list. The idea is this. Let's say, for example, I used to be a nurse. So everybody that knows me as a nurse. Now, they're not going to come to me for financial services advice, life insurance, planning their retirement. So how would they know now that I'm in the life insurance and financial services space? I have to tell them. So you make your list. How do you even decide who to put on your list? If you're going to be doing wedding tomorrow, who will be in your guest list? Make a list of those people. Or your child is graduating college, or you're celebrating your birthday. So those people in your life that you would naturally invite if you're doing anything, those will be people to invite, to put down on your list. Now don't worry about calling them yet. Whoever is coaching you is going to show you how to make professional calls. And let's say you're already in the industry for a while. Let's say you've been in the industry for 10 years, for 5 years, and you want to recreate momentum. You've probably done 100 lists before, okay? I've been in the industry for 8 years now. This February, I'll be 8 years. I have done lots of lists, okay? I actually have a list of 4,000. Yes, I said 4,000. Let's say you're in that place. You probably didn't do it well at that point, or there are some experiences you've gotten since then. Now it's a good time to create a brand new list. We call it AKA your chicken list. So your chicken list are those people you looked at, you're like, this person will absolutely not be interested in what I do. Maybe you've convinced yourself this person already have all the policies in the world. They already planned their retirement even though they're only 35. Is a medical doctor in your life, an attorney. I want you to think of this. Most of those people, everybody would assume the way you are, so they won't even reach out to them. So they are always the easiest people to reach to. So if you have those people in your life, there are associations you've had for the past few years that you've been in the industry. Those are places you could reach out to. There are some people you probably done business in another, the person you bought your home from, the person that you've done one thing or the other. Your kids graduated and your son is the roll of honor board, and there's another person that their son is also equally doing. Your son plays college basketball or high school basketball. There are 3 or 4 other basketball parents that you know there are some people that you associate. Go through your phone and make a fresh list. That's how you create a fresh momentum. The next step is to create your SMART goal. Where do you want to be? Okay, what do you want to achieve? When I say SMART, I mean goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's talk about specific. I cannot say I want to make a lot of money. I have to say I want to make $10,000. So when I say I want to make $10,000, it's measurable, it's specific. So now when I make $10,000, I know I made $10,000. I cannot say I want to build a mansion. I could say something like I want to build a 5-bedroom house. Achievable is very important because you cannot just stay here, you have never made $5,000 before, and you're like, hey, I'm going to make $200,000 in 1 week. Even your brain knows you're not going to do that. So you won't even put in the effort. But let's say you're making $5,000 a month and your goal now is I want to do $10,000. That's totally achievable. You only need to just increase your effort, a little bit duplication, you'll make that. Make sure your goal is stretchy. It has to stretch you. You cannot be making $5,000 and your goal is to make $5,200. Another thing about your goal is the R, relevant. You want a goal that's relevant to what you're doing. For example, let's say I'm a financial services and life insurance broker. I cannot just go make a goal that says I'm going to make $2 million selling cars. I'm not a car seller. I'm a life insurance broker, right? But if I make a goal that is okay, I'm going to make $100,000 a month. Why would I put $100,000 a month? Because I've made $75,000 in a month before. So my next is what month am I going to cross 100,000? Now that's a goal that stretches you a little bit more, but you're also measurable and it's relevant to what you're doing. Now you will go back and say, okay, if I see 10 clients, I'm going to make this much. Or if you're a builder, if I have 10 new agents that I get licensed and they make income, this is how much I'm going to make from that. So you can actually extrapolate. There's predictability in our business if you know a system that you're running. Now, the last thing you're looking at when you make your goal is time. Your goal has to be time bound. You cannot say, I'm going to make 100,000. When? Are you making 100,000 in a month, in a year, in 10 years, in a lifetime? You get the idea? I'm going to make $100,000 in a month by June. Not only are you saying the period you're going to make it, but also you're specifying your timeline. Now, if you made this kind of goal, let's say you made this goal in January, and right now you're making $50,000 a month. Now you know you have to start approaching that 100K as you approach June. So let's say by the end of March, first quarter gone, you're still at 50. You're going to go back to your drawing board and look at things and say, okay, what are we doing that we need to improve on? Because insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So you go ahead and you look at those numbers and you're like, oh, okay, what about if we improve on this? What about if we improve on this? Then you make those improvements. In April now, you see yourself cross 60K. In May, you see yourself crossing 70K. Now you're on track to actually cross 100K. So your goals need to follow SMART. Let's look at the next step. So when we talk about SMART goals, you want to use SMART goals to create your personal goals. And this could be, I want to lose some weight. I want to move in a new house. I want to buy a new car. Whatever those goals are, you're going to have in mind SMART. In fact, you can actually also apply SMART goals to your business goals and income goals, which we are going to share in the next points that are going to follow. The next point I want us to look at is knowing your why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this business? Why are you not doing any other thing? Why are you in this industry? When I sit with agents and I'm doing their business plan, I want to know their why. What is your emotional goal while you're doing this business? Like, who are you running to win for? Who would you run through the walls for? That's typically your emotional goal. Now, what's your selfish goal? What is one thing you want, you've always wanted, but you really haven't got to it because of time or money? Now, what's your income goal? If you don't know your why, you will not be able to know what your income goal is in your business. business. For example, my why was develop malaria vaccine, and I also wanted to send 100 kids to college in Africa. So when I sat with my coach, we actually sat down and said, okay, how much would you be making for you to be able to start that process of floating your clinic or hiring people to get into research or even researching? We came to a number. We said, okay, you have to be earning at least $400,000 a year, maybe $500,000 a year, because at that point you could handle basic needs are going to be handled. You could breathe, go to the restaurant, order food without looking at the price. You know how some people order from right to left? They give you the menu. You're not looking at the food, you're looking at the price. Then you see the one that says $7 and you trace it, say give me this one. When you get to a certain level of income, that won't be an issue anymore, right? So you want to know what your goals are. I'm reading this book by Simon Sinek, and the name of the book is Start with Why. And this book talks about, it doesn't matter the name of the company, it talks a lot about Apple, how Apple came here and dominated the tech industry. You know, it's not that necessarily Apple computers are cheaper, no, but Apple articulates why they're doing what they're doing. Once you know your why, then the what and the how would follow. If you don't know your why, number one, you're not going to get out of the bed every morning to go after it. The word of God says in the Bible, it says that people perish for lack of vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. That goes also in your business. That goes in everything you do. So in this industry specifically, you have to have a strong why to get after it every single day. And that brings us to our next point of you having your business goals. Having business goals is very important when you do a business because it brings the joy, the pleasure, the fun. So for example, let's say you're running a business, and if you're running a sales model, what's your sales goal at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half a year, at the end of the year? What's your next income milestone that you want to cross? What's your next promotional level that you want to get to? If you're in a building model like myself, how many associates do you want to get licensed this month? And this year, how many people do you want to make at least $1,000 in a month? To some of you, you're making a lot of money, but to some people, $1,000 extra every month is going to change how their kids go to school, for example, and what food is put on the table. So what's your next milestone? What jewelry are you going to be earning in your company next? In our platform, you earn rings. You get to qualify for trips. What's the next trip you want to qualify for? We've gone to Paris, Monaco. We've qualified for Aruba, Hawaii, Cancun, Cabo. We've qualified for all these trips. Literally right now, running for this trip right now to go to Europe. When those things are called in your company, do you work to qualify for them? Those should be in your business goal. For example, this year I'm going to qualify to a trip to ABC, and I'm going to take my spouse, I'm going to take my children. The moment you know your why, you're going to set your business goal to help you to achieve those whys. So your business goal is extremely important, and because your business goals include those areas of growth like your promotion, qualifying for production, how many people show up in your training. Next, let's delve a little bit into your income goals. If you live in California, in LA like myself, you agree with me that even at a $250,000 income, you're struggling. We live in a place where you buy a $1.5 million home, you have to build it before you can go in. You know, if you lived in Texas, okay, maybe invest $600,000 and you're buying a mansion. Not in California. If you invest $600,000 in a house in California, you're probably buying an RV. That means you need your financial goal. Now, your financial goal also is going to go back and circle back into your business goal and into your why. These things are all linked together. You know, like how a human being has head, eyes, leg, hand. You cannot say, oh, my hand is not a person, okay? Blessing is not my hand. But also, blessing is not complete without my hands, right? My head, yeah, that's the brain box. That's what processes all this. If you cut off this, there's no blessing. You get the idea? That's also how these things go. When we talk about your goals, you're setting smart goals in your personal life. You also set your smart goals in business, and then income. Your income goal has to also follow smart. You're not going to be at a $500,000 income right now and you're saying, oh, I'm going to be making $1 million a month. No, you're not there yet. Move to $1 million a year first. Well, after you're at $1 million a year. Now, I'm not also saying don't think multiplicative or exponential growth. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying set a goal that you're going to be willing to go meet. For example, my income goal this year is $1 million. I already know what I did to cross 400 10K. I'm not gonna work 2 times that same amount of time. No, I'm gonna build more. So the moment you build more, it's like you have a franchise and you're opening up other extra franchises. That's how it is here. The more brokers you build, the more production points you have, or income points. That's why in our model, you work hard to build the people, educate them, train them, coach them. The moment they know what they're doing, that's like a shop that you already opened that's running like a well-oiled machine. You don't have to go, and then you're teaching them also how to duplicate themselves. When we talk about building, you're looking at 2 ways. You build wide and then you build deep. In our platform, we actually call people helping people because we're so convicted about this philosophy of helping the other person grow so that you yourself also could grow. Make sure your income goal is achievable, but it also stretches you. Make sure it's something that excites you. Now, when you hit that income milestone, what would you do for yourself? How would you celebrate? Because when you know how you're going to celebrate, it's going to make you to want to go do it. So let's say, for example, hey, I have this thing every week. I'm going to hit so. In our company, we don't give you targets or quotas, but you can set your own goal. We can help you set your own goal. So at the end of the week, if I've done so, I'm going to take Sunday off. Now you can plan in something like every quarter. If I'm on track for my income goal, I'll take my spouse out to a weekend in a hotel for 2 nights. Pay a babysitter to look after the kids, those little munchkins, right? Pay a babysitter to look after those ones, and just go have fun. Go relax your brain. It's okay to turn off your phone for a whole day. I need to listen to that advice, okay? But it's so okay to turn off your phone for a whole day and just relax and process. You cannot like say I'm building a successful business without having an income goal you're pursuing. Also, because your goal is measurable and time bound, you're able to know whether you hit those goals or not. Sometimes you set a goal and we never know, life happens, right? And things draw you back. There's a scripture that really says a righteous man falls but 7 times and he rises up again. Falling is not a problem. Missing your goal is not a problem. The problem is you falling and lying down there and not getting up. Each time you stumble, each time you fall, get back up and get after it. Because really, honestly, there's no free lunch. If you don't go after your goals, nobody will go after them for you. So get up already, dust yourself, and get after it. The next step is considering what tools you would need to build your business. So let's say you're already in the industry. Of course, you probably have tools that you're already using. Now, how effective are they? If you're not in the industry already, welcome on board. Because just having a simple cell phone that could get online could help you a lot. We're talking about your cell phone, maybe a laptop, iPad. Even if you have just a personal computer sitting in one spot in your house, that's totally fine. Tools that you use. Now, when we also talk about tools, we talk about things like your working space. I'm not talking about going to rent a big office like the one we have here, but maybe just claiming a spot in your house and making it your office, your sanctuary, the space where you go to each time. And okay, for example, during the COVID, so even though we are one of the essential professions that could open, we couldn't open because the people are not coming out. So I did run my business 100% from March to November in my house. Guess what? I have a home office. It's really not an office, but it's a space in my home that my computer is sitting on that desk. And once I walk into that room, I'm in my office. It's like I turn it on and everything just flows. Now you want to make sure that that space is not clustered. You don't want to have a spot in your kitchen where you have the dishes lying and stinking in the sink, and on your room clothes hanging all over. You know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you, you're looking at it, you're like, am I really here? You want a space that you claim, even if it's a little corner, but that corner is neat. You have like a nice wall decor hanging behind you. In my office, I have a wall of honor. Could be a picture frame, something that just inspires you. Another thing I look at as tools, video clips. Videos that you could actually refer to learn how to. How-to videos are good tools. I tell people all the time, especially if you're in a building model like myself, don't be the tool. Direct people to the tool. If someone wants to know, how do I get someone in the class? We already have a video that we made that you could use. Follow it step by step. It will take you through that process. If someone wants to say, how do I do a recruiting interview? We have a video of it. How do I invite people? We have a video of it. You get the idea? So you have the videos. Videos could also be like little spreadsheets where you could organize things for yourself. Those could also be tools. Tools could also be little spreadsheets that you organize yourself. We use monday.com, for example. It's a simple CRM. Our Bamboo, when you get started with us, the platform where we run our business is called the Bamboo. It's a software. That software has everything you need to organize your business. You know, before I used to have a log where I track my licenses. Now Bamboo tracks it for me. If a license is about to get expired, my Bamboo will let me know. If my license will expire in the next 90 days, it will change the color because I have so many licenses with so many states. That keeps me on track. That way I don't need to manually track my license expiration. So you need a tool to run your business, and find whatever tool that works for you. A tool could be your scheduling, your Google Calendar. I like the Google Calendar more than the calendar that came with iPhone. So I run the Google Calendar, and you can sync your Google Calendar. My Google Calendar is synced to my Zoom, email. It just has everything together. Once an appointment hits my calendar, it's getting run. That's a system. The next step is to decide what model you want to run. When I say model, how do you get your clients? Are you going to be doing leads? I don't do leads, so I have no clue how to find leads, okay? But I've built a business without that. Are you going to be building a referral model, network marketing model? So you choose what model you want to build. I personally choose the network marketing and referral model because, number one, I don't spend a dime buying leads, okay? The other day, I was talking to somebody, they work with another company, and they're owing $14,000 because of leads. I'm like, if you spend $14,000 buying leads, where are the clients? He's like, that's the problem. They are not converting. I don't know how that system works. Some people say it works for them. So you want to know what system are you going to build to bring clients in? Because you agree with me that regardless of what you do, at the end of the day, every single business whatsoever that you're going to be doing, the end point is that you need to bring clients in the door. I'm reading this book. I think it's written by Rachel Rogers, and the name of the book is Building a Six-Figure Side Hustle. And she's talking about the different ways that you can bring clients in the door, different ways you can make your six figures. You could sell a product that you're selling $20 a piece. You sell a lot of it, you're going to make a six figure. You could also sell another product that your one piece is $5,000. Then you sell a certain number of it, you're going to make six figures. So you decide what it is. Same also goes in the life insurance and financial services business. Who are your clientele? How would you get them through the door? Are your clientele the ones that you're going to bring it in through lead? What are the best lead sources that you can get your leads from? Are your clientele the ones you're going to be getting from referrals, word of mouth, social media? What steps are you going to take to get yourself in front of those referrals and social media and word of mouth? But it's very important to decide what model you run. I like network marketing model because you're connecting with people who want to be connected with. When you go to a networking event, you give them your card, you take their card. Everybody there wants to give you their card. Everybody there wants to take your card. Now, one thing I've noticed also with network marketing philosophy is that the people that you meet in networking event, they're actually out to help your business because they know that when they help your business, you're able to also help their own business. But you choose what model works for you. And that brings us to the next step. The next step is to master the follow-up game. I don't think you understand how important follow-up is when it comes to life insurance, financial services. I was training the guys this morning and we're talking about following up, and let's say somebody needs money from their policy and they're calling you, then you need to help them to access money in their policy. And this brand new agent says, do they pay you for it? Everybody busted out laughing. I'm like, no, they're not going to pay you for it. They're already paid when they become your clients, right? So that's part of what we do. But follow-up, we would say that the fortune is in the follow-up. We made a full video about follow-up. So if you want to learn more about follow-up, watch this video. It's going to give you more in-depth about follow-up. But just know that your business, like half your business, especially as you go on in the industry, you're going to earn more from follow-up. Sometimes you follow up to do annual review for people and you're doing their annual review and, oh, they just had a new baby. That's another policy that you're going to be running, right? Let's say you help someone plan their retirement and you're following up, let's say 6 months into it, to know that they understand how their product is working, or 1 or 2 years into it, and they're like, guess what, my spouse is about to retire. Guess what, that's another income that's going to be coming in. I cannot overemphasize follow-up. Go ahead and watch this video. It will give you more information about follow-up. That brings us to the next step. You want to find a company with the culture and the values and principles that align with your own personal values and principles. That's one thing I found here. So when I found PHP Agency, I found a company that their values and principles are based on helping the next person. You know what Zig Ziglar said? If you help as many people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Find a company that has culture that is congruent with your own culture, or a place where you get to grow. Maybe you don't even have a personal culture yet. Maybe you don't even know what your personal values and principles are already. Maybe you don't know what your goals are. Find a company that is going to help you to grow and to develop in those areas. Here we have a sick culture, okay? We have fun. We believe in fun, okay? We believe in working hard, working smart, and playing hard. You will see us a lot of times dancing, having fun. The more fun you have, the more money you make. Here we have our goals, our values and principles. We believe in the sanctity of marriage. We believe that you cannot cheat on the other person just because you're on top. You never ever take advantage of your position. We believe in mission over commission. When I saw this organization and they already have those values and principles that are important to me, guess what? It was a no-brainer that I fit right in. In our culture, we have a goal of licensing 500,000 agents by 2029. You could be one of those agents. If you already have a home place where you work, please stay there. But if you're looking for a place to transition to, we have the sickest culture you can ever think of. So find a company that has the culture that's going to take you to the next level. That's why people come here in 2-3 years, they cross $500,000, $40 million. And I also love the culture that we don't give you quotas. One thing I have about quota is this: if you give a quota to someone like me, you're going to slow me down. If you give a quota to a high performer, you slow them down. If you give a quota to a low performer, you give them depression and anxiety at the same time. We have that culture of just helping you where you are and taking you from there and taking you to where you want to be. So if you want to learn more, reach out. Let's have a conversation. Which step stands out for you? Which step will you apply right away? Which of these steps would you share with the next person? Because we believe in sharing information, right? We have this abundant mindset. And when we talk about culture, our platform is perfect to actually see what culture could be. Our platform takes someone like Rodolfo Vargas, who was a security guard at Sears, to take him to someone that earns over $2 million a year right now. It took someone that like Matt Sapala, who was in the Navy, earning about $30,000 a year, to someone that earns over $2 million a year right now. Someone like Oriana that came from P&C Auto Body Work, that has over 5 companies. He closed them down and he came full-time here with his wife, and within their first 4 years they crossed over $1 million. This culture created someone like me from being a registered nurse that know nothing about money, didn't even have my own shoe growing up until I was in middle school, and moved me from being a nurse to crossing over $400,000. This culture has created people like David Bryan, a door-to-door salesman that's about to cross $500,000. Obi, an engineer. Jennifer, medical records, they're about to cross $500,000. Elvis, an engineer that's about to cross 750. I could name names upon names upon names upon names upon names that this culture and the platform that we have here, the system, the plug and play system that we have here, has taken from just nobody to that person you want to be like. So guess who could be the next? You. Are you ready? Let's play ball. There's so much out there. Remember to like, share, and click the bell so that when we post the next video, you'll be notified.